Several centuries later, in modern-day Iraq, came our final prophet for the day, Mani. Mani's parents were Elkosites, which was a very minor heretical Judeo-Christian sect. Mani claimed to begin having religious visions at age 12, and at age 24, he began preaching his new religion, which contained elements from Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, and Christianity, and in fact, he referred to himself as the Advocate of Christ. Mani preached a dualistic form of Gnosticism, which stated that there were two gods, one of light and one of darkness, who originally lived in entirely separate worlds before the god of darkness invaded the realm of light. As a consequence of the ensuing war, the good spiritual realm became mixed with the evil physical realm, which brought forth a number of lesser deities and the world we live in today. There was a way to combat the force of darkness, and that was through a special spiritual learning that later writers would refer to as gnosis, the Greek word for knowledge. That knowledge was a knowledge of one's own soul and how one shares in the nature of the god of light. Having realized this, one can act on it through a rigorous regime of asceticism that would eventually free the soul of all darkness and allow it to return to paradise. That regime was so rigorous that it was necessary to split Manichaeans into two groups: the elect, who were actually working towards paradise, and the hearers, who took care of everything so that the elect would not have to sin. Because sin in Manichaean theology extended even to farming, and thus the elect could not prepare their own food. The best the hearers could hope for was to be reincarnated as an elect in their next life, and in the meantime enjoy a more liberal existence. Mani traveled as far as modern Afghanistan and back again preaching his religion, eventually joining the court of Shapur I of the Sassanid dynasty, to whom he dedicated his only work written in Persian, the Shapuragan. Shapur did not convert, but he tolerated the spread of Manichaeism in his empire, as did his successor Hormizd. Once Bahram I took power, however, he began to persecute the Manichaeans, and ordered Mani executed at the advice of the Zoroastrian priest Kartur. Mani was imprisoned and tortured for 26 days before he died, a period that his followers referred to as his crucifixion, in order to draw a parallel with Christianity. At various points in history, Manichaeans could be found from Spain to Taiwan and everywhere in between. For a short time they even won the mind of St. Augustine of Hippo. But, after Theodosius made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire, their numbers declined in the West. Their decline in the East began when the Abbasid caliphs began to persecute them, although Marco Polo still encountered them when he traveled to China around 1300 AD. Back in the West, several Christian heresies arose with Manichaean roots, most notably the Catharai, or Albigensians, but Pope Innocent III ordered a crusade against them in the 13th century, which led to their ultimate demise. In 2011,